So there are a lot of Beatles fans, and the ones who are more spiritual, they tend to like John Lennon quite a bit, and they especially tend to like George Harrison. And the reason is that George Harrison was just a very gentle, introspective person. And then he got very deep into spirituality. He was the impetus for the Beatles going to India. They meditated for 2 months, and they wrote most of the White Album when they were in India. I was playing tennis this morning, and the guy that I was playing with, I told him that one of the things that deeply influenced me earlier in my life was in 2011, and then in 2012 I listened to a lot of the White Album. Discovered new songs like Revolution 1, Sexy Sadie, Mother Nature's Son, and I really enjoyed that. And around that time, like, I was doing training to be an RA, resident assistant. Like, someone gave me some flower garland, right? And like, I wore it around my neck, and I was just smiling and running around like a flower boy. And like, I liked that, I really enjoyed that. And I'd hang out with the Hare Krishnas at the campus at University of Florida. And they used to cook like nice food, like vegetarian food, and they would chant. And George Harrison was a Hare Krishna himself for some period at least. And what was so good about that? Why did the White Album, George's hand was heavily in that, though he only wrote a few of the songs, because he got them to go to India. And they wrote, like, Lennon wrote 15 songs in India, most of which are on the White Album. And Abbey Road, some of their best stuff. There's a superpower that you get through this spirituality. And the White Album is their most dynamic and beautiful piece of work. Why am I bringing this up? George was just so gentle. He was vegetarian. He was very spiritual, and he and John connected in that dimension. Though their egos are different, John was a lot more abrasive and a lot more dark, but underneath it there is a beautiful person, and that's what came out in a lot of his lyrics. The better side of him underneath all the facade. And that's the thing, we have to look beyond the facade of people. We have to look beyond what they put on the surface, what they demonstrate on the surface in terms of whatever ways in which they just come off very scary or whatever. Like, there's a person underneath there as real as you or me, as real as you or me, as much as we feel and perceive that's happening on the inside of that person too. And again, we're here to help each other take our masks off. And George made such a beautiful song called While My Guitar Gently Weeps. He wrote that in India. It's about how love could save the world, and how people aren't able to unfold their love because of the way they think. And I don't know why nobody told you how to unfold your love. I don't know how you were diverted, you were perverted too. Like, these are lyrics that come from beyond. And I don't know why someone controlled you. They bought and sold you too. I look at you all, see the love there that's sleeping, while my guitar gently weeps. Like Jesus, he went to Jerusalem, and he looked at the city and he wept for what he saw. He was coming from an elevated standpoint. And I can say from a personal standpoint, look, George did this in the 60s. I'm here in 2020, more than 50 years later, listening to this, appreciating it. I mean, I hadn't heard of the Beatles at the time he died in 2001. But his impact, his influence, it's making changes in me, which affects the way that I interact with the world as it is now. So it's an unbroken chain, But that's what I gotta say about George, the gentle one, the quiet one, the still one. They made a few movies, the Beatles, and the director said that George was the best actor, and that's probably because he was the most quiet, the most perceptive, the most observant. from that standpoint, you can then recreate something based on your observations, you know. He didn't write that many Beatles songs, but the ones that he wrote were amazing. Guitar Gently Weeps is certainly one of them, my favorite. He wrote something in the way she moves attracts me like no other lover. You know, you're asking me, will my love grow? I don't know. I don't know. That's an honest lyric, instead of just saying yes, of course. It's giving the false certainty. It gives the uncertainty. It gives the truth. You stick around or it may show. I don't know. Something in the way she knows, and all I have to do is think of her. Something in the style that shows me. A lot of people just like, it's like a drop dead song right there. A lot of people, they're just like, that song is incredible. He made Here Comes the Sun as well. It's an Abbey Road song, like something. Another great song, but like, that's such a good song. Such a good song. Here, as my first Beatles song. But something about something, it just gets people. I don't know how, man. I don't know how. But it's all spiritual. It's all about authenticity. It's all about allowing your insides to come out, and then therein lies the beauty. And that's what George was able to bring to the Beatles, not just in taking them to India, but a song like Something, it's like nothing else. A song like While My Guitar Gently Weeps, it's like nothing else. And it was spirituality that made certainly the Guitar Gently Weeps song. But it's not just spirituality, it's his internal aptitude, it's his ability to surrender and change himself, his ability to live with truth and authenticity that allowed his real, better personality to come out than an egoic personality. And that's the beauty. That's the beauty that can change the world. That's the beauty that can change one person's heart. That's the beauty of George Harrison.